Hello, welcome to yoga. My name's Christiana. Today's practice is all about digestion, so whether you've eaten a really big meal or maybe eaten something that doesn't agree with you and your stomach kind of hurts, this is going to be a practice specifically for encouraging your body to complete the motion, the downward motion of food and get it out of your body. So the first thing you're going to do is get into some comfortable clothes. Make sure if you have anything that's really constricting around the waist to just go ahead and let it go. Drawstring pants are the best for this. You'll come into a seated position. Go ahead and close down the eyes. Put your hands on your knees and start breathing through your nose. Feel the cool inhales in and exhale through the mouth. Inhale cool air through the nose. One more sigh out. Inhale through the nose. And closed mouth exhale. Like you've just eaten something really delicious. Go ahead and feel your sit bones on the floor. Feel your hands touching your knees. Feel your clothes on your body, your hair on your head, how the air feels on your skin. Just tap into the body here. Now flutter the eyes open. You're going to start rolling your shoulders back. And then roll your shoulders forward. Opposite directions. Or I guess the same direction, but just opposite times. Other way. All right. Go ahead and take your left hand to your right knee. Just a simple twist to the right. Look over your right shoulder. Don't strain anything here. Remember to breathe. Exhale back to center. Take your right hand on your left knee. Twist over to the left. Look behind you if you can. Don't forget to breathe. And back to center. We're going to do a few cat-cows. So come onto your hands and knees, your wrists directly below the elbows, knees directly underneath the hips. You're going to drop the belly, look up, breathe in, exhale, look down, chin to chest, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the spine, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round down. Two more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now bring your spine back to neutral. Go ahead and tuck the toes and then just barely lift your knees off the mat. We're just trying to engage the core here. If this is bringing you pain in your stomach, don't worry about it. Just put your knees back down and keep breathing. Otherwise, you're gonna scoop your elbows forward so that the elbow pits shine forward. You're gonna keep your neck straight. Don't look up or look down too far. One more inhale, nice and big. Exhale, bring it all back down to the mat. We're gonna go into child's pose and just rest here for a few breaths. Breathe into your lower back. You can put your forehead down onto the mat. Roll your forehead side to side. Now lift up just a little bit, and if your knees were in a narrow-kneed child's pose, go ahead and just bring them out to the sides of the mat, big toes continuing to stay together, and then just work out those hips a little bit, just roll side to side, and then find your way back into child's pose. You're going to bring your hands off the right side of your mat. Bring your left hand on top of your right hand so you get a nice stretch in the left side body. Breathe into that. Bring your hands back to center and move them off to the left side of the mat. Bring your right hand on top of your left. Breathe into that right side body stretch. All right, bring your hands back into the center of your mat. Tent up your fingers and bring them back towards you. Push yourself up. You're going to go ahead and bring your feet in front of you. Going into staff pose here. And now lift up your right leg. Great. If this is good enough for you, just leave it there. If you can, bring it to the other side of your left extended leg. That's even better. We're going to do another twist. Hold on to your knee with your left hand. Open up your right arm out to the side. Try and glance back at that right thumb. Make sure your hips are equally on the ground. Both sit bones are equally balanced. One more inhale. Exhale, bring it back to center. If you can, go ahead and bring your foot off of the mat, off to the left side, and stack your knees on top of each other. You're going to go down into a forward fold. If this is not working for you, you can keep your foot up here and then go in this way, just finding some opening here in this region. But if you're here, inhale, arms up overhead, straight spine, skull shining straight up to the ceiling, and then exhale, fold over any amount. And you're just going to let gravity pull you here. Don't try and pull yourself down. Just let gravity do its thing. Stay here for a few breaths. Now push yourself back up into a seated position. We're going to switch onto the other side. So right leg straight, left knee comes up. If this is good for you, just leave it here and twist. But if you can, bring it over your right leg, please do. Grab onto your left knee with your right hand and open up your left arm out to the side. Look over your left hand. Try and glance at your thumb. And breathe here. Make sure your hips are equally on the mat. Pull that knee in towards the chest. One more inhale, straight spine. Exhale back to center. Lay your knee down on top of the other knee. And then arms up overhead, inhale in. Exhale, fold forward. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Tent your fingers and bring yourself back up to seated. Uncross that leg, back into staff pose. And then we're just going to forward fold here. So move the flesh out from under your sit bones. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold any amount. If you're here, this is totally good. If you're further, that's great. You don't need to pull yourself too much. Right now you're trying to create like opening in your belly to move stuff around. So don't try and crunch it all up together and get yourself down onto your knees. You're trying to create space in your belly. So just breathe here. Inhale back up to seated. You're going to put your feet on the mat. Put your hands with your fingers facing towards your toes behind you about 6 inches. And then you're going to lift your hips up to the ceiling. Breathe in. If it's good for your neck, you can let your head go back. Hold here for a bit and breathe. Bring your hips back down to the mat. We're going to do a little butterfly pose here. So bring the soles of your feet together, your knees splaying outwards. If they don't get even close to the ground, if you're having a lot of trouble with that, you can actually move your feet a little further in front of you so that they're more in a diamond shape rather than the butterfly, and that should help you get a little more space in there. But once you have your ankles, just flap your knees side to side. You're bringing blood and circulation to this area to help your lower intestines. If it's painful for you to flap your legs, don't do it. You can just leave them static like this. But if you can flap them, that brings more circulation to the area, so it's better. All right, inhale the crown of your head to the ceiling. Exhale, stop fluttering your knees, fold forward any amount. Inhale back up to seated. Cross your legs and you're just going to go over them back into a tabletop position. We're going to go into puppy pose here. This is probably one of the best poses you can do for digestion. So keeping your hips still directly over your knees, don't really let them go forward or back. You're going to walk your hands out in front of you so that your chest and your chin come down onto the mat. If it's too hard for your chin, you can put your forehead down on the mat. I'm going to put my chin down. Ooh! This is really difficult for some people in their shoulders if they're super tight. So if you need to bring your hands to the outside of the mat just to open it up, that's totally fine. The most important thing to remember in this position is to have your knees directly under your hips. And then just breathe here. Try and let go of your belly. Try and keep your weight equally on your knees. If you have one foot coming up this way, you need to move over onto that knee. Whatever you do here, just remember to breathe nice and deep into the lower back. All right, you can stay here a little longer if you'd like, just pause the video. Or you can tent your fingers up and come back up to a tabletop position. We're gonna do a thread the needle twist. So inhale, open your right hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, twist it and thread it through the left. Bring your right ear down to the mat. Try and even out those hips. Don't let them push to one side or the other. And then you can also crawl your left hand fingers out on the mat to open up. Create a little more space if that's good for you. Remember to keep those hips even, squared off to the mat. Bring your left hand back in front of your face and push up. Open up, inhale. Right hand back down to the mat. Exhale. Inhale, left hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through the right arm. Left ear comes down to the mat. You can crawl those right fingertips up if that creates more space for you. Square off those hips again. Bring your right hand back in front of your face and push into the mat. Inhale, left hand to the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back down to the mat. We're going to go back into a child's pose for a moment. Big toes are touching, knees are as wide as the mat. Hands out in front of you, arms straight. If you want, you can bring your hands into prayer and then bring those palms back behind the nape of the neck. That can give you a good stretch in your triceps, which also can stretch out the sides of your torso, which help with digestion as well. All right, come back onto all fours, and we're just going to flip onto our backs, onto the mat. Let's see, how am I going to do this? Here, I'll go this way. I'm going to take that off. So go ahead and bring one knee into your chest. Just move it around. Feel into the socket here. Straighten that right leg. Bring the left knee in. Move it around in the socket. Breathe a little bit here. And then bring your left foot onto the floor. Bring your right foot onto the floor, and you're going to bring your feet up to the ceiling for a waterfall pose here. You can push your heels up into the ceiling. You can open your arms into cactus shapes as well. Let gravity do the work here. Go ahead and bring your knees back into your chest. You're going to crunch into it. Try and bring your nose to your knees. And then let it all go. You're going to cross your right ankle onto your left knee. And you're going to go ahead and bring that left knee into your chest. If that's not comfortable for you, if you start to pull your shoulders up off the ground, just leave your legs like this. You can even push onto your right knee with your right hand to open up that right hip. However, if this is very simple for you and you're pulling your left knee up into your chest, you can either grab behind the thigh or you can grab the left shin and bring that knee in any amount, trying to keep that right knee squared off with it. If you had your foot off the mat, go ahead and bring it back down and switch legs. So right foot on the mat, left ankle on top of the right knee. If this is good for you, you can push onto that left knee with your left hand, or you can bring the right knee into your chest. Make sure that you're not pulling your shoulders in to try and grab that knee. And you can grab behind the thigh or on top of the shin. Really pull that knee in towards the chest. If you had your knee pulled in, go ahead and let your foot fall back to the floor. And rather than uncrossing, you're actually going to cross your legs even more, so make sure that left leg is on top of the right. You can scoot your hips over to the left side of the mat if that's good for you, if that gives you some extra space. And then let your left leg, your right and left legs, just fall over to the right-hand side. You can open up your left arm and look over the left shoulder. Twists are a great way to help digest, release any gas, calm down any bloating. Twists are your friends. Inhale, bring your knees back to center, head back to center. Go ahead and bring your hips over to the right side of the mat, cross your right leg on top of the left, let it all fall down to the left side. Open up your right arm out, look over your right. Feel the opening in the back body and the side body. All right, go ahead and bring your knees back to center, uncross them. And we're just gonna go down into Shavasana. So straighten out those legs. They can be about 1.5 feet apart from each other. Your feet can open those feet outwards, just splay them out. Arms alongside the body, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Close down the eyes and just let go. Anything that you're holding on to, whether it be thoughts or the breath or a part in your body, just relax it, let it go. We'll be here for about 1 minute. Go ahead and take a nice big deep inhale in. Exhale through the mouth. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring your arms overhead, your feet zipped up in together. Stretch out. You can yawn here if you want. Now roll over into one side, curl into a tight little ball. And give thanks for 3 things that you can think of. Using your top hand, push yourself back up into a seated position. Keeping the eyes still closed. Paying attention to that internal landscape you've created. Maybe you have created some extra space. Go ahead and bring your palms together in prayer at heart center. We'll take one inhale and close out our practice with an Om together. Inhale, nice and big. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Hope to see you soon.